We love
So
hip
like,
hop.
bro, damn, bro,
Fam,
this is crazy.
You've made your equity in the game. Fuck with the labels, because the label, your equity is shit with them now, right?
Exactly.
Like they basically screwed you over. You're suing them, so screw them. I could go to another label, or I could take all of this fame and traction that I have, and then just sell my own shit and keep 100% of it, or just maybe split it with an investor.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's somebody looking right now to give him $2 billion.
But there's rumors like that he's kind of like locked in with Gamma. You know what I mean? Like he invested in Gamma or whatever.
Yeah.
That's why he like collaborates with a lot of their artists.
Mhm.
Gamma is like an independent platform, right? It's a platform for independent artists.
Yeah.
So I could see him kind of like pushing that more if he is actually like locked in with them.
Yeah. But, you know, if they're not fronting the bread because they are an independent in the ways like you just mentioned, there is somebody who's willing to front the bread. And I'll play it for you right now. Let's get to that.
And Habibti. So here's what went down. Drake dropped 3 separate albums in one night. Iceman, Habibti, and Maid of Honor. Now, everybody's talking about the music, but I need you to hear the business.
Talk about it.
Each one of those projects has its own SoundScan code. Why does that matter? Because Drake was allegedly on the back end of a $400 million deal with Universal Music Group, and that deal required 3 more studio albums. He knocked out his entire contractual obligation in 24 hours. UMG woke up and their biggest artist was already gone. Now he's a free agent, and reportedly a private equity firm has already put a $2 billion offer on the table. If he takes it, he bypasses the label system entirely and becomes the wealthiest artist in the history of music. More than Jay-Z, more than Taylor Swift. That's not rap beef, that's a hostile takeover. The labels have been doing artists dirty for decades, and Drake just flipped the board on all of them.
Crazy.
So if this is true, and I've heard this from, or I've seen this, multiple sources post about this, and industry insiders like talking about it on their Instagrams and shit like that. So let's take that with a grain of salt still. But let's say this is true. What do you do now? The man, I'm free. He's begging for it in the friggin' the song. Make them pay. He's begging like, yo, let me be free, fam. I'm better off independent.
I just wanna be free.
Yes.
Yeah, no, facts. Yo, the fact that someone's just around the corner, I let this breeze. Then I'll just start whopping them with like some summer, you know what I mean? Like I'll just keep whopping them with music still.
No, but you're not getting what I'm asking. You're free.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't got no label.
No, I'm saying like whopping them as like the people, like I don't want to say keeping the people fed because we have more than enough music.
No, but who does he sign to? Does he sign to a label, or does he take the $2 billion from somebody? And now, let's say he gets the $2 billion injection, okay? And now I can do business. I'm richer than Jay. Now I can promote my own shit and just have to pay back my investors.
Yeah, I feel like that. Well, knowing his gambling habits, I feel like that's the route he'd take.
$2 billion? He was already reported to be a billionaire now. Or not reported, but rumored to be a billionaire now. Somebody gives you an extra $2 billion to like do whatever you do your shit, bro.
And it was rumored that he wanted $1 billion from UMG. So like double that, I feel like he would go for that. And to maintain some sort of independence as well.
Well, all my shit moving forward, because you're not a record company, it's my masters are my masters, I would imagine. Right? You're not in the business of keeping my masters. I'll give you whatever percentage or whatever when I license them and shit.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm just have to pay you back your $2 billion or maybe $3 billion. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think that's definitely the way. I think if he signed with another label, that would be like a lateral move, you know? Like you're just moving from the stove to the oven type shit.
Basically. That's a bar. From the stove to the oven. No, but for real, like that's literally what he'd be doing. You know what I'm saying? You're just getting in bed with other people that you don't trust their business practices. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you really want to do that? Or like, say, you know what? Let me just take this $2 billion from this private investor.
But I feel like it depends on the terms still, because $2 billion, they might start asking some crazy shit like, oh, we own your likeness for the next 5 years.
What was Universal asking for? The fuck, bro? The man's still touring like as if like it's yesterday. Like he just dropped his first album.
But like Universal controlling your likeness is different than like some random youth. You know what I mean? Who like all of a sudden you're seeing Drake on like some weird ads, or like you're seeing Drake and like some weird stuff just because like this guy wants to connect his other business, you know, and he wants to use Drake to promote his other businesses and shit. Like,
as long as you're not AIing my face on some corn videos, I'm fine, fam. You gave me $2 billion.
what if it is like an AI company where it's like,
No, I'm saying as long as you're not doing that, because I'm going to put that in my contract.
No, but I'm saying like, what if it's an AI company where it's like, okay, so we own your likeness for the next 5 years, anything you do for the next 5 years. Now we have all this Drake content that we own in perpetuity. So like, oh, we could use this in our AI, we could use this in blah, blah, blah. So now like, oh, now people are making Drake songs again. People are, you know, remember back when they were kind of fighting that when they had the Drake and the Weeknd song? Because a lot of these private investors that are buying these catalogs, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're using, again, like they're going to use the catalogs for nefarious acts. You know what I mean? Like they want to like kind of steal the data from it, or like how the artist sounds. They basically want to use it against the artist type shit.
Yeah.
So depending on the terms of the contract of what they're asking, because $2 billion is a lot. So I know they don't just want to be affiliated with Drake. They want something from him, bro.
Okay, so here's where I got you there, brother. All right. He wanted $1 billion from the label, who's gonna own his shit most likely in perpetuity if he agrees to whatever terms or meet them halfway, which usually is perpetuity to some part of your likeness, publishing something, right? The labels, as well as the streaming companies, are also in bed with these AI freaking companies, and they're cranking out some of this shit, this AI slop that's you're seeing on Spotify and other places, fam. It is coming from the labels. These guys are having fights. The actors are fighting with the freaking companies because they don't want their shit to be replicated, and now they don't even have to come in. They'll just use the AI. The artists are fighting for the same shit because all these guys are in bed together, fam. So do I deal with the label who's going to be dealing with AI companies and using my shit? Or do I just deal with some private investor?
You don't think he's at a point where he could just do it himself now?
Like let's say he has $1 billion, right? Because it's never been reported that he has $1 billion, right? Let's say he has close to $1 billion. And a man's willing to give me $2 billion to continue my legacy for the next, let's say, 10 years. I might go hold that, fam.
I don't know. I just think it depends on the terms, bro. Because like, you don't want to get locked into some weird shit, and then now like you have to go through a next lawsuit with like this private like 80-year-old trillionaire type shit.
Yes. And another thing, those guys, unless they start investing into artists like crazy, are not going to take the other guys on my label and then push his shit more than my shit to make me look crazy. Because you ain't signed nobody. You're a private investing company. These guys are in bed with all of the other artists. You're in bed with my ops, bro. I can't sign to you guys. You're going to pull the same play again.
That's a good point as well. He would definitely be like their only star.
Yes. And me being on your label feeds all the rest of your roster half of the time. Not half of the time. All of the time over the last 15 years. No more.
But if you're finally free, do you want to get into like a $2 billion slave deal?
If it's not a slave deal, then hell yes.
I feel like regardless it is.
Because
like,
the record labels be the slave deals. This person is a private investor. That's different. We can make different terms. You're not in the music business. You're in the money business.
The thing, okay, as someone that has done events before, when I would run events by myself, free reign. I could do it how I want, when I want, where I want, everything like my vision, how I want to do it.
Right.
When you bring on a private investor now, that's what it is. They're invested in it. So it's like,
make the balloons gold. Come on,
literally like, you know, we did give you the $2 billion. We don't really want you to drop on this day. We also like our other businesses doing this. Like, it's not going to be good for like, you just go from having one master to another, basically, is what I mean by slave deal. And I don't think they're going to be working them to the bone, but it's like, now you're $2 billion in debt. Like, you know, they're going to have control over you, dog.
Brother, and we're going to get off of this, okay? Because I feel like we're going in circles. $2 billion in debt with a private investor, or $1 billion in debt with the music industry vipers who've been fucking over artists for the last 100 years.
But I feel like he doesn't have to be with neither of them niggas. I feel like he could, where he's at right now, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to sell 600,000 every release. You could just stay where you're at and then just ride off in the sunset, drop when you want, keep your independence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do your shows, make everything off your shows the way you want it. Like, I don't think he needs to get in bed with any other, like, weirdo trillionaires, like.
Last thing. Because, you know, we said, okay, he's a billionaire, whatever. So then I'm going under the assumption you're like, from the money that you've made, you got $1 billion, quote unquote, just use that and stay independent.
Type shit.
But you also mentioned gambling. So maybe you don't have that. And it's like, fam, somebody bless me with $2 billion and I'll go get to work.
But I feel like that's what the stake deals were for. But like, okay, me, I recognize I'm not going to stop balling up still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do have a 1-2, you know, shout out Zaranto. You know what I mean? They make sure they keep me stocked, loud. Because I know I'm not going to stop balling up. And my money is going to be depleted if I just keep getting top quads, blah, blah, blah. But with this deal, I'm able to kind of maintain my smoking habit without going into my personal funds, without going into my business funds.
Yeah.
So I feel like his stake deal, the reason why he did that is so he could maintain his gambling habits without like getting into addiction territory where like, oh, I'm selling my plaques and like, you know what I mean?
That would be bad. That would mean you really hit rock bottom if you're selling the plaques.
Like, nah, I feel like he's blessed enough where he could go independent. Yo, try for a couple years, dog. You've been with the labels for what, 15, 20 years now?
Yeah.
Who knows? Bro?
And end of the day, we're like literally speculating.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know if he actually is going to actually sign these deals, or this, you know, get this money from this private investor, but who knows?
Thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.